What's good, man? We are back again with the Four Quarters podcast. Got your guy D Hump
What's
and my
up, man?
man.
It's your boy Smids.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So interesting season, bro. Interesting season. This is what our this might be our second season in a row, kind of like where we kind of are intentionally trying to hit games.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about this season, man? Overall.
This year was pretty good. The went to a lot of good games. Probably I want to say a few early ones really wasn't that good, but as far as the season progressed, there's a lot of good football. I want to say, other than last week, no disrespect to Pick Central or Gahanna Lincoln. But the not last week, but probably the last like maybe 4 or 5 weeks, we had some nice
Bangers.
bangers. Went to see some GCL schools. Seen some good Central Ohio teams. And then of course, we in G Walk land, so of course we visited some good G Walk games as well. But yeah, pretty good season overall. I ain't got no complaints.
Mm-mm. I would agree with everything you said. Beginning of the season was a little slow. Um, and I think our expectations were that the G Walk would perform better than it did. I know no one predicted, Centerville coming off of a state run to be as bad as they were this year. Springfield, the last couple of years been dealing with quarterback issues. So that can kind of, be an up and down season. But we know once they get clicking, which is what they did, I think they went, 6-1 their last 7 games or 5-1 their last 6
Mm-hmm.
games, something like that, in traditional Springfield fashion. And then you look at a team like Wayne, which is why I think that region is so interesting. And we'll talk about that as we start to cover the brackets. But you look at a team like Wayne that comes in with the level of star power that they have. I would probably argue they have the only 5-star, not only in the G Walk, but I mean, how many 5-stars are legitimately in Ohio at this point, right?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure if we did research, we probably might find a handful. I
You're
don't
gonna
really
find a
see a lot.
handful, and what I'm saying is he's one of them,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
That's what he brings to the table. So you see a team like Wayne struggle, which is a little surprising. But as you said, as the season went on, we started to get out of the G Walk a little bit. We saw some great GCL talent. Saint X was down. Saint X, this is the most human that I've seen Saint X in years. You know what I mean? Like they're beatable, by a couple teams in my opinion. I think Springfield could beat Saint X, right?
I didn't really
Um,
think they was that tough last year, though.
it's a good point. That's a good point. But see, the thing about Saint X last year, if you really think about it, they really only got beat by Moeller. Elder didn't beat them. Um, who else is out there? Think they might have lost to. No, they beat Lakota. We went to the playoffs, or I think it was maybe the last game of the season, or it was a playoff game where they beat Lakota.
Who, St. X?
Saint X, yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, I can't remember, man. We went to a playoff game. It was a great game. Lakota was loaded. And I think they either go into overtime or something happened at the end where St. X ended up winning like 17-14. It was a very close game. But, my point overall is that, once we started to get into the thick of things and we saw St. X, we saw Elder, who was super impressive. I think we got a few surprises this year. Olentangy was a surprise. Um, Anderson was a surprise. Um, who else we got that was who did we go see play Arlington?
for Arlington.
That was Orange.
That was well,
That
yeah.
was Olentangy. But then we saw Pick.
We just seen Pick Central and Gahanna Lincoln.
Pick Central's tough.
Yeah,
Pick
I
Central's
mean
tough.
I don't really want to do Gahanna Lincoln like that, but I don't know if they forgot they had a game or what. It was 28-0 at halftime. The points piled up fast. I don't know if Gahanna Lincoln, like what was going on, but the quarterback was under distress all night. I mean, he damn near was throwing the ball to the sideline all the 2 quarters we was there. The score ended up being 35-0. I mean, it really just wasn't a lot going. Pick Central, running back explosive. They got a receiver explosive.
Hmm.
The defense, I want to say, got a
Defense,
pick six.
the defense. One thing about the defense though, real quick, because I'm gonna let you flow. If I'm not mistaken, the defense had about 5 Division I players. You saw a lot of Mac.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that we were talking to, he was pointing out a lot of Mac. But I'm just saying that's a lot. You already know. You've been talking about this for years. The transfer game and just how brutal it is to be a Division I athlete right now. So you got a team full of 5 Macs. The transfers are happening. These guys are probably studs. So that defense is probably one of the better defenses in all of Ohio that we watch. It was so they were so good that it made Gahanna. We start to question like damn, did you guys forget you had a game?
Nah, I mean, and they only lost 2 games, so it was like
We
I
didn't
kind of
expect that.
felt like they had more to play for. I think they was playing for of course, the conference title, and then I want to say a
Seeding.
first round bye, so home
For
field
sure.
advantage too. So
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
that game really. I mean, there's really you could pump like you said, you pump Pick Central up because I mean, clearly they just dominated from kickoff to halftime.
I mean, for sure. If you look
They
at that,
definitely out there for sure.
you said what?
So they definitely had some studs out there.
They had some studs, man. And when you really look at it, they didn't. We left the first half. It was 28-0. They finished the game 35-0. That lets me know that they probably let the reserves in very early.
Mm-hmm. Had to.
The pace of that game was looking more like a 55-0 type
Like,
game.
they definitely could have put some way more points up on that board for sure.
No, for sure, for sure. But overall, good season. Saw a lot of exciting football, a lot of surprises. There's a lot of talent across Ohio. I'm very, very anxious to see how this playoffs goes.
Now, speaking of playoffs, we might as well just get right into it. The
Yes,
biggest
sir.
news of high school, powerhouse Ironton has got banned from this year's playoffs. This got announced last week.
Hmm.
I read an article today. I'm gonna read it right now, and it doesn't seem like Ironton is the only team that's well, it's actually the only team that banned. Reading this article, they're reviewing other high school schools. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna read this article. It says the Ohio High School Athletic Association has launched a comprehensive investigation into possible recruiting violations under bylaws. I'm not going to read all those. And impacting 172 football programs across the state during the week of the 2025 playoffs. According to the OHSAA officials, the review targets potential violations involving athletic recruitment, transfer incentives, and benefits offered to student athletes. The investigation comes as part of OHSSA's continued enforcement of fair play and eligibility standards. The first confirmed sanction was issued to Ironton High School, which has been removed from the 2025 football playoffs following findings of repeated recruiting violations over multiple years. The OHSAA determined the violations occurred between 2018 and 2025, resulting in a postseason ban and coaching violations. Other notable programs currently under review include Anderson, Highland, Indian Valley, Millersburg, Pirate, Taft, Perry, Tri Village, Coldwater, Archbishop, McNicholas, Eastwood, Nelsonville, York, Poland Seminary, Bath, Steubenville, Jackson, Miami Trace, Pickerington Central, Springfield, Washington, Massillon, Troy, Kirtland, and Patrick Henry. OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute emphasized that maintaining integrity within high school athletics remains a top priority. Our mission has always been to ensure fairness and uphold the standards of amateur competition. These investigations are not meant to punish, but to protect the value of high school sports. As the investigation progresses, additional rulings and postseason eligibility decisions are expected. Schools found in violation could face suspensions, forfeits, and long term sanctions extending into the 2026 season.
I think that's really interesting because a couple things. When you look at Ironton, Ironton has been good and dominant for so long that for them to and I don't know the history of Ironton. I don't know if something happened in the 90s or something happened in the 80s, but this is the first that I've heard of Ironton being under a statewide investigation. You know, you're talking about 2025 playoff suspension. You're talking about multiple coaches that got suspended for the following season, $7,500 fine. It just makes me wonder, one, you know, who did they make mad? Who wasn't with the program? Because for Ironton to win as long as they've been winning, this really doesn't seem like it's anything new. You know, and then the other thing that I want to say is that, you know, as long as you're not giving kids money or giving parents money, I don't see a problem with recruiting in high school, especially when the state is won 80% of the time by the same schools, which happen to be the private schools that are allowed to recruit. How
Right.
can you compete? You know, if there's not a money exchange or some type of bribery or, you know, something along the lines like that, I guess I just don't understand. You know, they're trying to keep up this integrity. How can you win? How can you compete? How can you be competitive when you have to compete with the Saint X's, the Elders, the Molars,
St.
you know,
Ed's.
the Eds? You know, it's the same schools all the time. So it's like, what difference does it make,
Nah.
really?
I agree with you. I kind of feel like is if I stay in, I'll say Xenia, and my kid is good, and I feel like they got a good shot at being a Division 1 player, and I got an opportunity to move my family to Springfield. I'm gonna just move my family to Springfield. I don't see, I mean, any violations in that. It's different when you look at a St. Ed's who, at one point, they said they had kids from like 46, 50 different counties. So that means that these kids
That's recruiting.
they don't
Yeah,
live here.
yeah,
They're traveling to come to
yeah.
this school when I'm just moving
Mhm.
15, 20 miles up the road. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you as long as there's no bribing, there's no under the table. If I pick my family up to move for a better situation, I don't feel like I should be penalized for that. And I mean, you kind of done that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like you kind of know you in the middle. Like you've
Right.
been there and done that, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like, do you penalize a kid because their family see a better future at this school than
Right.
another school?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't
Especially,
know.
especially when you are uncomfortable at that current school. Because especially in football is probably the one of the most competitive and political sports that there is, especially high school football. And I've even experienced where you have coaches where one player is just as good as the other player, if not better. But because you like player A versus player B, he's your guy. Then, you know, you'll choose your favorite at that point, unless player B is like a 5-star player. So there's so much favoritism. There's so much BS that the parents have to deal with at certain schools. You know, you look at, and I'm not trying to negatively shout this school out at all. This is no disrespect to that program because they used to be very solid. You know, you look at a school like Tecumseh in Clark County. If I'm in that district, I found a great deal on a house. I'm now building my family, and I want my son to be a football stud. And I put him in a program like Tecumseh, who I don't even believe won a game. They won one game this year. They didn't win any games last year. And then I have a conversation with another coach. Let's just say Coach Douglas at Springfield, right? For example, just keep using the Springfield example. And he, he sees my son. He heard about my son, whether through recruiting or maybe we played at a 7-on-7, whatever the situation may be. I don't think that it's wrong for him to have a conversation with a parent who's very open to sending their kid to the best program, unless there's something weird going on. If not, let's play some ball. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not doing anything here at Tecumseh. I need to leave and put my son or my daughter in a better situation. And kids do it all the time. Why do you think all these NBA kids and all these past NFL kids, all those kids, they go to all private schools, all of them, because it's the best. It's the best place
Or
typically,
go
unless you're
prep.
talking about a prep. Yeah, but they're going to a school that has an infrastructure for building your child up, building your kid up into a stud, and they got pipelines everywhere. Springfield knows everybody: Ohio State, Purdue, Minnesota,
I like
Florida, Kentucky. Centerville knows everybody. St. Ed's knows everybody. Wayne knows everybody. So you want to put your kid in the best position that they can be to be successful. Period. There's been too many kids that ended up in schools. You are a prime example of being at a school where you happen to be the same position as 5 or 6 other players, and they were all studs. So after a while, what can I do? And it's not even about you and getting time or minutes on the floor, but there's only so many shots. There's only one basketball. So what does that do to your productivity? You know what I mean? So again, man, it's like I said, as long as nothing illegal is happening, any bribery, anything weird, I think it's already going on. The state knows it, the coaches know it, the committees know it. But I think we need to stop joking.
Yeah, and
we
then
we know
it's
what's coming.
interesting. Some of the teams like Pick Central, like Columbus is big, so it's kind of like, I mean, what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how, as far as the school districts go, on how, like, can you go to any can you go to Pick Central, or can you go to Pick North, as long as you stay like in Pickerington? And then Troy kind of stood out to me. Like, granted, Troy is a top seed, so they got 1 through 4. I'm not sure, when we get there we'll figure it out, but it's kind of
They're
like,
number two.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
Troy recruiting.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So it's kind of like,
I
no
think
knock, but it's like, damn, people want to go to Troy.
right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. We don't. To me, there's been no details as to what Ironton actually did. The all that I read
Well,
is
they
that.
did say that there was kids on the roster. Now, I don't know where Ironton is, but it has to be on some border, because they were
Mhm.
saying that kids lived over the border and was going to Ironton.
But
I
here's
don't.
what I'm
I
saying.
didn't really get a lot of info on it, because, like you said, a lot of information. I mean, it's a lot of hearsay,
They never stated.
But that was one of the things I heard, that kids was living. I don't know what border it's at. You know what I'm saying? But it's some border to where, like, they didn't live. They didn't live in Ohio. They lived across
Mhm.
the border and was going to.
And, and listen, man. Maybe maybe this is it's beyond sports. Why they're very strict on this, you know. But I just have to see some of the evidence. One, I have to see what Ironton actually did. All I read was that they were talking to parents. They know that they were openly talking to parents and attempting to influence parents in some way. But I still don't know. Influence is a strong word. We
I
don't
mean,
have any detail.
what is, like you said earlier, um, if my kid is at a school that just, they don't win, they don't have a winning culture, and a coach we play, or another coach
Mm-hmm.
at a talented team, sees my kid at that time, either I could, try to figure out a way to get my son to that school the right way, or we'll have to just stay where we at. But I don't feel like these coaches are paying these parents. I don't feel like,
It could be address violations. You know what I mean? It could be lying about your address or something like that. But still, I guess if the kid is not a problem, if I sometimes I wonder if we're putting too much time and attention to investigating things that aren't really a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get what you're
is
saying.
this really a problem? Who are we robbing? Who is not benefiting? What is the problem? Unless we're talking about I gave you and your son new pairs of J's and tickets to the Ohio State Michigan game.
Right.
If we're not talking about that, in my opinion, I just think it's petty. And we're policing to police at this point. Unless somebody can bring me evidence to let me know what type of violations we're talking about. That's just the way I look at it.
No, it's definitely bigger fish to fry. I mean, if that's the case, make it to where you got these private schools that got their own championship, and then you got the public schools that got theirs. I mean, if because at the end of the day, that's
Sure.
who, like you said earlier, that's who you're competing against. You're competing against Saint Ed, who wins year in year out. You're competing against teams like Ironton, who win year in and
Archbishop Hoban.
Hoban. Like these teams
Oh
are
man.
these schools are openly recruiting
Mhm.
Moeller. Like they're
Right.
allowed to do it. And then you
Right.
got a city of I don't know a few thousand kids, and they're supposed to face up against these cats. It's just not fair. I mean, I know life ain't fair, but it's just like you already got a handicap.
For sure.
Um, Springfield ran into it against St. Ed. It's like they can't beat this beast. And one year, St. Ed's front line was bigger than colleges. So it's kind of like, how can you compete against that? One, you're recruiting, and then these kids is the size are bigger than a college front line. That don't make no sense.
Right. So, and that's a great point because when you think about the front lines of these schools, the D line, the offensive line, some towns have speed, some towns have size, but when you start talking about 6'6" offensive linemen, 6'7" offensive linemen, 6'5" offensive linemen, and all of these kids are on one team on the line, that's rare. You know, we saw Winton Woods. We grew up in Springfield. We see athletes, but to have the athletes and then have that level of size in that front line, it's too much to deal with, and that's why they win all the time. I'm looking at this right here. You know, you got Saint Ignatius. It's got 11 state titles. Moeller's got 9. Uh, Marion Local's got 9. Youngstown Cardinal Moody's got 8. Cleveland Benedictine has 7. St. Vincent St. Mary's 6. I mean, you know, Youngstown Ursuline. You know, these guys they win and they win. St. Edwards they win and they win every year. One of your picks, you know, preseason or you know pre postseason picks was Elder. Elder won it in what? What's the last time Elder won it? Maybe 2015, 2014. I think St. X might have won it 2019. Moeller, I mean, it's the same people all the time. How can these other public schools compete if they're not going to split up the brackets? If you're not going to have all the private schools play each other versus all the public schools play each other, there's a reason why it's so lopsided. Because somebody's able to recruit and the others are not. I mean, it's pretty simple at that point.
Whoever in your city, man, strap them up. That's it. That's all you got. Why
That's
everybody
all you
else
got.
get the best of the litter, pick of the litter.
Pick of the litter. And if you don't get the dice of the great classes that come in, then your team stinks. And that's pretty much what it boils down to at this point. And then you got to think, even to go to a public school, if you wanted to move your kid to, I don't know, Olentangy, you got to move to Olentangy. You got to have an address. Look at all the hoops you got to jump through. So anyway, I don't want to beat that dead horse, but I'm not a fan of it. You know, again, as long as they're not breaking rules, I think they need to stay out of the business and just let these kids and these guys go where they need to go to be successful.
All right, man. We get into these playoff brackets. Our area Southwest would be Region 2.
You want to start there?
Yeah, just go
Get it.
ahead and start where it's at. Top four teams: Middletown in order: Middletown, Troy, Findlay, and Springboro. Surprised about the Springboro fourth seed.
It might have been the overall record, maybe,
Kind
because
of
I can't.
weird, but
Well, you got Springfield right behind him at a 5 seed because Springfield was supposed to be there. I think if Springfield doesn't lose to Fairmont, you got Springboro. I think you got Springfield at that 4th seed. But it is a little weird because Springfield beat Springboro.
I, I I got Springfield coming out this bracket. Um, they win. They got a game home game this Friday against Marysville. They win against Marysville. They can play Springboro,
Mm-hmm.
with who they already beat. I think it was what 14-7. I think that was a close game.
Very close game.
The winner of that, they win that game. They'll win. They'll play either these three teams: is Lebanon, Kettering, and Middletown. So
So let me ask you something, Smith. So you telling me you don't believe in Middletown?
nah, nah. I mean, we went to go. We seen them play last year versus Wayne. I
Wayne,
want to say,
good game.
and
They had some studs out there.
hate to say it, but they should have won that game. I
They
don't
could
know
have
how
won
they
that
blew that
game.
game, but they lost.
Yeah,
And
Middletown has talent.
I don't know. I want to say they was undefeated, and then one game they got cracked by somebody, and I was just like, I'm cool.
So they lost to Lakota. Um,
The worst one, right? Out of
I
the
got it
two.
right here, man. So you got Lakota West they lost 27-13, and then they lost to Hamilton, who's also in that bracket. Or no, Hamilton's in another bracket. They're like a 10 seed in another bracket, but that's interesting. But Hamilton beat them 14-10. So they lost 2 games. Nothing crazy. But I, I will admit to me this is an interesting bracket. I don't know about Middletown. I need to see him play. I got Springfield coming out of this bracket, but at the same time, Wayne could get hot.
Man. All right, I'm with you. Wayne can, but what they gonna do when they got if they meet up against them boys again from the field?
I mean,
And this like this is this is like Springfield. I feel like this is like Springfield kind of got a reputation of kind of like, to me, is like Michigan State.
mhm.
Like they're going to be good during the year, but like they're going to be excellent when it's tournament time. Like that's
Michigan
kind
State
of like they.
basketball for all the fans that may not know which Michigan State he's talking about.
Yeah,
He's talking about
basketball.
Michigan
His whole
State
time is on them.
basketball
Yeah, so
for
it's
sure,
kind of like,
for sure.
they're always going to be good in the regular season, but then when the tournament time, you're going to see them sneak in. Michigan State, you're going to see them sneak into them Elite Eights, them Final Fours. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Springfield. I mean, except for last year, but I mean, I just feel like when it's time to really, when it's time to play football, Springfield come to play every playoffs, and I don't really, from just the teams, no knock on nobody, but I don't really see. It's like I feel like it's theirs for the taking. It depends on
It
what they
is.
do.
It is, man. I got obviously you got Middletown and Troy, the number 1, number 2 seed. I don't know about Middletown. I know has talent. I know they're athletic. I Troy, I don't know anything about, and I know Middletown, if I'm not mistaken, beat Troy. So I don't know. I got Springfield coming out, but I have to say I think it's going to be Springfield versus Wayne. I know that probably won't happen because Wayne is Wayne may lose early. I don't know, but if I like kind of picking the odds, if you will, playing. I guess I'm not playing the odds in this situation. I like picking teams that may shock people, and I think Wayne will beat Galloway. I think Wayne will beat Finley, and the next thing you know, Wayne is potentially playing a Troy, a Hilliard, or a Dublin Jerome, and I don't fear any of those guys versus Wayne if Wayne is clicking. Wayne wins that one. Wayne wins one more game. 8 times out of 10, they're playing Springfield. But we'll see. We'll see. My
We can
pick to
move
come
to.
out is Springfield, but my secondary pick is Wayne, and I got Springfield Wayne in the Elite Eight or the Final Two in this bracket.
And then we can move to Central Ohio. That's Region 3. Top four seeds in order.
Woo,
Oh, Orange, pick Central, pick North,
woo.
and Olentangy.
This is rough
Um,
out there. This is, in my opinion, this is so top heavy.
yeah. I'll probably check it. I'll probably go to this Westerville Central Upper Arlington game Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, check out Westerville Central, see what they do. Young team. Get to go see Nate Miller, the third in his first playoff game.
Young stud QB.
That should be exciting. I don't really know too much about, like you said. I mean, other than the top four teams, Liberty at
Gehanna,
5. Um, Upper Arlington is 6. We watched
don't
them.
sleep. Smiths,
Gahanna
do not
Lincoln
sleep.
7. Watched them.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Do not sleep on Upper Arlington. They will mess around and beat Pick North.
You think?
Mm-hmm. I do, man. I do. I never seen Pick North.
Yeah,
Um,
we did. We just went to go see Pick North. That's who we just went to go
oh,
see.
I thought we saw
No,
Central. You're
that
right.
was North.
You're right. Okay, bro, I'm gonna be real. I gotta go. I gotta be at that Pick North versus Upper Arlington. I think that's gonna be a
So
banger.
you don't got they ain't got a shot. Westerville Central ain't got a shot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nope. And
Not
there's
a
no disrespect to
not
those
bad.
guys.
I get it. I get it.
Not yet. Not yet, man.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. This is an interesting bracket.
It is,
I
man.
don't know a lot about a lot of these teams. We went to go see Orange, and I mean, if I got to pick out of this bracket just off of what I know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go Orange. I don't really see too many people stopping Orange.
I'm picking Orange too. Um, I
Pick
got Orange.
North wouldn't be a bad pick neither.
It's not because they're very good.
I
We
kind of
just
feel
saw
like
them play
Orange
Gehanna.
and Liberty. I mean, Orange and Pick North will probably play each other for that bid.
I think so. So let me see here. I got Orange my number one. I just think the talent is too crazy. When they beat Upper Arlington, what did they? Do you remember that score by chance?
Liberty, I
Or
want to say it
Orange
might have been 14. I mean, Orange. I'm sorry, might have been
did
14. Let me check real quick. I want to say it might have been 14 though.
28-14.
Yeah,
But that was a good game for the
it was.
longest time.
It was.
I'm telling you. But Olentangy beat them at Upper Arlington, if I'm not
Yeah, it
mistaken,
was
right?
defense. I want to say Upper Arlington's offense kind of the defense for Orange was kind of too much.
And they was moving that rock.
And then I want to say it was not a last second, but Upper Arlington had a little bit of momentum and ended up turning the ball over, and that's kind of like what ended the game, pretty much for them. But they was scrappy. Orange was just too much,
They're
man.
just tough, man.
A lot of firepower over
A
there on
lot of
both sides of the
firepower.
ball too. So
And as soon as we saw Orange, it's like we knew right away, like this might be like the top three, top two, top one teams in the state right here. These guys are extra. So we got picked. So we got Olentangy Orange is coming out of there, but I do like Upper Arlington versus Pick North. I do like that game. Depending on who wins that game, and depending on who wins Pick Central, I'm assuming Pick Central comes out of there. That potentially is a Pick Central versus a Pick North or a Pick Central versus an Upper Arlington. Back to back, really good games. And then I don't want to sleep on Lewis Center. And I think Liberty's a 5 seed. Now I don't know how much talent they lost, but we know what they did last year, so
yeah, for sure.
we
I
can't
mean,
we can't
as
mess.
far as playoffs, any playoffs or any tournament, don't not saying talent ain't important, but who's clicking, who's gelling, and who's hot at that time of the year is kind of like usually how state runs, tournament
Mm-hmm.
runs get. How
Mm-hmm.
they happen. Teams start clicking, injury, people get your injured players
Yeah, you
start.
saw that last year. Mm-hmm. quarterback
So,
get banged up.
yeah,
Yeah, tough.
yeah. Then we got Region 4, which would be our region. South,
Ooh.
uh, top four seeds:
I like this region
Elder,
right now, bro.
Moeller, St.
Mhm.
X, Princeton. Um, sleeper
Cincinnati.
sleeper pick is I feel like Winton Woods could
Mm-hmm.
sneak out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They win, they play Princeton. Uh, Princeton's 4 seed. Winton Woods is 5. Um, this is an interesting bracket.
This bracket is
I feel
interesting,
like this is probably the toughest region in Division 1.
pound for pound. So you made a point earlier. You said the state runs are the teams that are clicking, right? And what I find interesting is that you got Elder number 1, Mode number 2, X number 3. Who's to say Mode doesn't turn it to a different level, or Saint X, the quarterback, gets it together? I Elder is my pick because I saw Elder multiple times and they've impressed me. I think they're just as good as anybody in the state. But it's any man's game at this point. And then you got Winton Woods, a dangerous 5 seed, a scary 5 seed for one. And then you got both Lakotas that have talent. And, I mean, I think it's Lakota. Let me see something, man. I think it's Lakota West. 1 second. I'm going to make a
But they
point here.
6 and 7, so they ain't far off from
No,
each other.
no, no,
I
no.
don't think
It's Lakota
Hamilton's really
East.
any that good.
You got Lakota East right here. They got the running back, Ryder Hooks, who averages 173 yards a game. He's got 11 touchdowns on the year. They got a tight end, 6'5", beast. I think he's going to God. Where is he going? He's going big time Division 1. I can't remember where he's going right now, but he's tough. So what I'm saying is, like, teams like this that have a lot of talent, if the running back gets off early, if the tight end gets off early, I just think this is the most interesting bracket. I have Elder coming out, but I think that Winton Woods can make a run. I think the Lakotas, I don't see them winning anything, but I think they can upset somebody. I think if one of the Lakotas get in there and they have to match up with St. X, they can knock St. X off. Or St. X can start knocking people off because they got the craziest defense. The offense was just shaky.
Right.
And then Moeller is Moeller. Moeller been taking some lumps, but they got a pedigree over there.
Right.
They
And they
win.
got some veterans over there too that
Yeah,
know
they got stud muffin.
how to get to that state game.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Elder to win that, but my dark horse is Winton Woods for some reason, man. I don't know
I
why,
know
but
what reason.
I got a feeling that Winton Woods, if they could click, and they would end up matching up with Elder as well too. So
Yeah. Hey, man, that's a dangerous game for anybody. Winton Woods, I'll say this, Winton Woods in this bracket can beat anybody. In this bracket, they are that dangerous. And that tight end that I was talking about from Lakota East is committed to Indiana.
Indiana, and they
Yeah,
tough. They
they
tough.
tough. Oh, man, number 2
They
in the
tough.
nation right now.
They
Just
tough.
beat the brakes off UCLA. So all I'm saying is there's a lot of talent in this region. And if you not on your game,
You going home,
you going home. I don't care what number you see it is, my friend.
and then Region 1. This is the one we really out of the loop with. Top four seeds, of course, St. Ed, Mentor,
Oh,
Kent McKinley, and Whitmer.
so okay, interesting. This is very interesting.
I see
Men-
Massillon in there. Uh, Cleveland Heights. You got a
that's not
Perrysburg.
the Maslin though. That's not the Maslin. That's Maslin Jackson. That's a different Maslin.
Okay,
FYI.
yeah, Massillon Jackson. You're right.
Yeah, that ain't them killers. Because what's interesting about the Maslin, which is Washington, actually, Washington Maslin, um, They beat St. Edwards and Canton McKinley.
No, right. They tough. I think they beat Kent McKinley probably like 9, 10 years in a row.
Yeah, and they had a good game. Canton's tough because Maslin only beat them by a touchdown, and they only beat St. Ed's by a touchdown. I I got honestly, I'm gonna just go against the grain, bro. I got Mentor coming out. Mentor's undefeated.
I'm going St. Ed. My final four pick, I'm going St. Ed. I'm going Springfield. I'm going Orange. And I'm gonna just go left field and go Win Woods, man.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Win Woods, man.
oh,
Just go
he's
left field. So I got
crazy.
Springfield, Win Woods, Orange, and St. Ed Final Four, man. Crown.
Oh man, that's
Woo.
wild. I don't even
I
know
don't
how
know how
that.
that would match up. I don't got it off the top off right now, but
Yeah.
I would say I don't know how like the seeding would go, like what region go with region. But I would say the state game would be St. Ed, and I'll just go Springfield, man. I got them going that far, man. I'm gonna just go field, man, and then I got St. Ed, man, hoisted it again, man.
Ah.
That that's
All
me.
right.
That's my
All
state champion
right.
in 2025, man. St. Ed beating Springfield.
All right, man. So my final, I'm stumped at this Final Four, man. I'm gonna be honest. It depends on how it all matches up. Springfield would play who?
If I would want to say it would have to be either
St. Ed's. No.
Columbus
Yeah.
or
They play Cincinnati. They
they,
would play
yeah, they
Elder's
would.
bracket.
Yeah, right.
So you got Springfield versus Elder, and you got Orange. Woo wee.
I
Potentially
feel like
saying,
low key Orange can beat St. Ed
oh,
though,
no doubt
if they
about it.
match up. So give me
Yeah.
Orange and Springfield, man. Give me Orange and Springfield, man.
All right. So
Give
here's
me
where I'm
Orange and
at, man.
Springfield.
I hear you. I hear you. Here's where I'm at. I got Springfield coming out their region. Damn, man. I'll tell you what, the dark horses definitely Winton Woods, man. They're scary. But I'm gonna go with Elder, man. I think Elder's very polished. But God, I want to pick Winton Woods so bad, but I'm gonna go with Elder. I got Orange coming out of Columbus, even though I think Pick Central is interesting. I like those guys a lot, but I just think pound for pound, man, can't nobody touch Orange. And bro, I don't. St. Edwards is tough, but who is Mentor, man? These guys, they were undefeated last year. They had all this talent last year, and now here we are again. Like, who are these guys? I don't know anything about Mentor football. I don't know where they're located. I'm assuming up north, but they're 10 and
Yeah, I don't
0.
either.
They were 10 and 0. They beat, let me see here. I mean, obviously they got that up north schedule. It's weird they didn't get around to Maslin. They didn't get around to St. Ed's, but I mean, it doesn't look like they really had a close game all
So
season.
they
Now,
ain't been battle tested.
there's no teams that jump out to me. Now, the fact that they beat St. Ignatius 35-21, and if I'm not mistaken, St. Ignatius struggled this year,
Yeah,
right?
they
They were
only won
1
one
and 9.
game. Really only made the playoffs because a team opted out. So
Opted out. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, they only won 1 game, but they beat. You got 42-12, 45-7, 49-0, 35-0, 49-0, 38-6, thirty-one to
I ain't
nothing.
gonna hold you, man. They probably first, second round exit, man.
Let's see what they did last year. Let's see what they did because I remember pumping these guys up last year too, and I don't know what happened to them.
You can't go against St. Ed, man. You know you can't.
I can't. I can't. I'm really just trying to. I'm being difficult right now. So, okay, check this out. They lost to St. Edwards last year in the playoffs, 13-7.
Mm.
And then, no, this was the regular season. They lost 13-7 to St. Ed's. And St. Ed's was actually good last year, too. But then they lost weird score. They lost 7-2 to Upper Arlington in the state semifinal. Oh, that's hockey. Yeah, what is that all about? Come on, football, man. What y'all doing? What the AI doing, man? Yeah, they lost. No, they did. They lost in the regional finals to St. Ed's 13-7. Now, here's what I'm making a point here, real quick. St. Ed's lost to who last year? Liberty, Olentangy. Who did they lose to in the playoffs?
I don't know, but I'm thinking if yeah, it had to be Liberty because Liberty played Moeller in the
Mm-hmm.
state.
They lost to Olentangy Liberty 21-7, and they had a 9-6 record last year. They really struggled last year.
St. Ed,
Mm-hmm. No.
Liberty.
No, your boys. Yeah, St. Ed's. You're right. You're right. And then Liberty. Can you recall Liberty versus Moeller last year?
I think they took it to Moeller.
28-14.
Yeah, I'm about to say I think they took it to Moeller. I want to say the
28-14.
one cat had 3 touchdowns in the state game. I want to say a receiver
Mm-hmm.
for Liberty.
Hey man, I ain't switching up, man. I'm going mentor, man. And I'm finishing the season with Orange. I'm sorry. I got Orange versus Elder, man.
Orange versus Elder. Who winning?
Yeah.
You gonna say Orange? I know you is. Go ahead, man. You got Orange,
Yeah, I got Orange.
Columbus, Central Ohio 2 years in a row.
I got Orange, man.
We'll have to see. So what game you thinking about checking out this Friday? So we definitely gonna be at 2 different games this week for sure. So I'm going to see Westerville Central versus Upper Arlington at
I
Upper
hear
Arlington.
you. I hear you. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. I'm not really seeing anything catching my eye right now. Let me get to the main bracket. I don't know where I'm going, bro. I'm gonna be honest, man. I might catch a local game because I'm not really seeing anything that's like catching my eye to make me want to go and travel. If anything, the Columbus game with you sounds more enticing than any of the games that I'm looking at right now. I'm
Yeah,
really in love with Region 4, but I don't see anything in the first round that,
I think second round is kind of when it's going to be kind of
yeah,
like tough to pick the
right.
games because there's going to be should be a lot of good matchups. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some upsets. But I think round two and up is kind of like when we're going to really start getting some good football.
Yep. Yep. I don't know nothing about these guys, man. So I'm either gonna hang out with you or I might just chill this Friday night and just check out the scores. Cause no disrespect to anybody on that field, but ain't nobody really making me excited to get up and get out there in that cold. I ain't gonna lie.
And then prematurely, man, we got basketball season approaching slowly but surely. So we definitely be tapping in. I mean, me personally, my son, he go to Wayne, so I'll be at
Yes, sir.
every Wayne game. So that'll
Yep.
be where my analysis will come from.
Well,
We
you're
might
gonna see a lot of good basketball though.
female girls high school hoops out. Not gonna make any promises, but definitely be giving y'all a lot of Wayne feedback.
Right. Gotta make sure we check out them Kettering girls, man.
Yeah, I think their star player, I think she committed to Akron, and they got a
Stud
sophomore who
muffin.
probably about to go anywhere she want to go
Anywhere
with.
she wanna go. Yeah. No, we gotta check them out, man. I don't think they talk about that girls team enough, and I don't know why. Feel like the football team gets more pub.
Logan, the Dotester.
Yo, they play Lebanon in the
Woo.
first round, fam. I'm interested to see what they
That's
do,
the game.
man.
That probably might be a low key boring,
That's what
interesting game for real.
that's what I'm saying. Don't let them get to Middletown and beat Middletown, man. Don't do it,
You wanna know what's
man.
so crazy is that I
Yeah.
could see something like that though.
Oh, I can too. Yeah, I can see that
I ain't
easily.
even saying that like Middletown ain't disciplined, but they're never seen nothing like that.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Middletown is a speedy team.
Hmm.
Athletes. Kettering handles the athletes decent.
And Middletown's basketball team, they got 3 New York transfers, so that's going to be interesting when we get around to that.
Well, let me ask you this because I just want your opinion on this. I know we're in football season, and I don't want to ruin anything for my hardcore football fans out there, but like the Johnson kid from Cleveland decommitted to Ohio State. I guess I just wanted to know what you thought about that.
uh, I want to say it's interesting because a kid that he originally started at Lebanon, he ended up transferring to some prep school. I'm not sure, but he just committed to Ohio State, and
Mhm.
it kind of felt like they had maybe 2 of the top 10, 20 recruits of this class going there to
Mhm.
see him decommit days after that guy commits. And I don't know his name. I want to say last name might be Thompson.
Is
It
he
was
a
kind of
guard?
interesting, but I will say Ohio State is kind of like guard heavy
Mhm.
right now. And you never know. NIL, it might
For
be
sure.
getting a bigger bag. I mean, there's no telling at this point. I
We
mean,
don't know the scoop. I just found it interesting. I He's a 4-star guy.
NBA ready for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's a
we seen him play last year.
yeah. No, he's got all the tools. If he
For
was
sure.
when he adds that polish to his game, that college polish, that next level polish, he could be scary. But as a 4-star player, I just don't know about Ohio State basketball right now.
Well, they got Diebler. From the sounds of it, he's a player's coach.
Players call. I knew you was going to say that.
I feel like he's just trying to build the program up. I want to say it might be his second, third year. He hasn't been there long, I would say. So
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just trying to get cats to buy into the culture and turn it around. I mean, you got to think. I mean, this was years ago, but O State made some Final Four runs. You know
That
what I'm saying?
Mata era.
Yeah, so I
You
mean,
got
if talent's
Conley.
there, they could, and Big Ten
So
is good basketball, so it ain't like they in a terrible conference when it comes to hoop. Like Big Ten is nice basketball.
top tier. Top tier, especially when you start entering Oregon's and UCLA's and some of
USC,
the huh
I said USC.
USC. You know what I mean? You start adding those guys. Big Ten is definitely a different level on the hoop side right now. So okay, I just wanted your opinion on it. I figured you knew a little bit, and I figured you had an opinion on it. I think the recent commit of another kid and then him decommit is interesting, but could have been a coincidence. It's a different game. He's a 4-star guy. He's legit. He doesn't have to decommit from Ohio State at all, unless you know the guard heaviness. He wants to play right away. So
That
I,
paper.
I didn't see your hands. I got the screen small because I was looking shit up.
Yeah, they got that paper, man. I'm telling
Aha!
you, that NIL, man, it's a whole nother. It's a whole nother demon, man, out there at this point. You feel me? A few $1,000s is the difference between Ohio State and North Carolina, or
Yeah,
Penn State and
shit.
Virginia Tech, or you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you might be talking about a few thousand a month.
Man, you
No,
never know. The
you don't
good
really
at
know,
NIL is you don't know. You feel me?
right? And he's a 4-star guy, so he probably is getting to a bag. So anyway, man, great season. Very excited for the postseason. Um, Another good year of Ohio football, man. Four Quarters podcast.
Yes, sir. And keep
Yes,
our eyes
sir.
out on these suspensions. Ironton the first, so hopefully we ain't gonna wish no bad luck on anybody else, but hopefully that's the only team that they find violated. But I guess we'll see,
Anderson was in there.
man. Yeah, Springfield, Troy, Pick, Central.
Mm-hmm. Troy, wow. So until next time, we'll see.
Yes, sir.
All right, Smith. Yes, sir.